Bitcoin has been absolutely crashing towards the downside, but right now is not going to be the time to be getting fooled. But what has exactly been happening for Bitcoin? Why is Bitcoin crashing towards the downside? And where can we be finding our next level of support? We need to be talking about that exactly. And the crazy thing is, nobody is actually watching this, but these signals are actually indicating that we should not really start to panic. But anyways, I'm going to be talking about that exactly. So make sure to push up that like button. And as always, let's have a look into what's that short term. And first of all, yes, I am still sitting in my Bitcoin long position, and I have actually removed my stop loss, which was sitting at a break-even point, because I still do think that in the short term, we might be headed a little bit lower, and I just do not want to be closing my Bitcoin trade, because in the end of the day, I am going to be expecting another move towards the upside. I am going to be explaining all of it in this video. But anyways, yes, I just do not want to be getting stopped out of this trade. I do not really care that in the short term I might be working in a little bit of a negative P&L. But anyways, first of all, why has Bitcoin been crashing towards the downside? And the first thing which we can be seeing is that we had once again a negative outflow from the spot Bitcoin ETFs. So yeah, we had an additional 85 million US dollars of selling pressure coming in through the market, majority once again coming in from Grayscale. And on top of that, yes, we did have our breakdown down below of this key level of support. And actually the moment we lost this level of support, well, that was exactly the moment where we have absolutely crashed back towards the downside. And we could actually see this all coming just simply having a look into what's our ascending triangle. Of course, I did have a little bit of a bullish bias over here, which has kind of been a wrong take in the market, because in the end of the day, we did get our further rejection back towards the downside because of this breakdown. But yeah, even though in the short term, we can be moving a little bit lower, and I'm going to be talking about the exact support targets in a minute. Well, even though we can be moving a little bit lower, I do think that we are coming close towards our end of this Bitcoin dump. Because first of all, having a look into what's the liquidity, which is going to be very important. Of course, Bitcoin always tends to move towards where the majority of the liquidity is actually sitting at. And we can definitely clearly be seeing that the majority of the liquidity is right now actually being built up on that top side. And actually that downside liquidity has already been kind of taken out. So there is actually coming in a lot of upside potential, and the chance that we are going to be seeing this move getting created towards the upside is going to be getting way bigger because of our liquidity being built up on the top side. And the reason this liquidity is actually getting built up is because of these funding rates, which have once again been flipping very bullish, because we have once again gotten back towards these neutral areas. And well, whenever the Bitcoin funding rates are back at neutral levels in a bull market, that is indicating a lot of bullishness in my opinion. And having a look into what's our funding rate chart, you can clearly be seeing that right now we are at these low levels, and we can be having a look into what's a possible market all of the time whenever the Bitcoin funding rates are actually at these neutral or slightly negative areas, just like over here, over here, over here. Well, all of the time it has been a very good opportunity to be buying up more Bitcoin and to open up new Bitcoin long positions. So yeah, right now we are seeing a similar kind of dip towards all of these dips created over here. And probably anytime soon, we are about to reverse it back towards the upside with another huge move towards the upside. And that is why I'm not going to be selling off on my Bitcoin long position. Right now is not going to be the time to be panicking. We are, of course, trading in a Bitcoin bull market. These Bitcoin funding rates are sitting very low. A lot of liquidity is being built up on the top side. And having a look into what's our next support target, well, we have, of course, been bouncing off from one support level already right here. But I think the next one is going to be coming in at the 63.6k level. And after that, we are going to be having a look into what's the 61.1k level. But in between of these levels, I do think we are going to be forming another new pattern. Okay, we can clearly be having a look into some kind of an uptrending support being created, and also right now a downtrending resistance because of this rejection over here. Now this uptrending support is going to be coming in at about the 64.8k level, so definitely these are the levels to watch right now. And if we were to be creating this symmetrical triangle, and if we are going to be trading inside of this symmetrical triangle for a longer while, well, we are going to be stretching it out probably until the Bitcoin halving. So if that were to be happening, well, during at around our Bitcoin halving, we are going to be seeing this massive breakout, and that is going to be insane. that is going to be huge for Bitcoin. If this were to be happening, well, I'm going to go all in towards this Bitcoin breakout. So I am not going to be the one panicking in the market right now. I think that great opportunities are going to be arising in the market. And before talking about the Bitcoin longer term, well guys, if you do want to be taking advantage of this Bitcoin dip, you can right now be claiming a $40,000 deposit bonus over on Bybit. Now, without this link, it is only going to be $400. And this is basically going to be free money, free capital, which you can be deploying inside of the market with a free trading position or even to buy up new altcoins, which is absolutely great if you want to be taking advantage of this Bitcoin dip towards the downside. And because Bitcoin is correcting towards the downside right now, well, a lot of people are having a look into this Bitcoin CME gap down below us. But if we are going to be having a look into our last cycle, well, we also created not one CME gap down below us, but actually two CME gaps down below us before we blasted off towards the upside. And the crazy thing is that in this cycle as well, we were getting very close towards closing that CME gap down below us, but we did not manage to quite close that CME gap just yet. We actually created another CME gap, and at this time, literally everyone was saying that it is going to be inevitable that both of these CME gaps are going to be getting filled first, and then we are going to be creating that exponential move towards the upside. But Bitcoin actually didn't care, and Bitcoin actually just blasted off towards the upside already, just left these two CME gaps unfilled down below us. And because of these CME gaps below us, well, a lot of people actually got trapped and a lot of people got fooled. And right now, the Bitcoin price is actually doing something very similar. We are also creating this CME gap down below us. Now, everyone is right now thinking that this one is gonna be getting filled. And look, yes, 99% of the CME gaps tend to get filled. But what if we are just going to be repeating history and just leaving this CME gap unfilled down below us and actually just blast off towards the upside? Well, it is looking very, very similar. Just keep it in mind. Now, talking about the Bitcoin longer term, I'm not really going to be worried about my Bitcoin long position. Why? Because I think that the maximum drawdown is going to be a minus 20% correction from the Bitcoin top. Of course, if we are going to be having a look into all of our Bitcoin corrections, it has basically not been more than minus 20%. So the average drawdown and the maximum drawdown of this Bitcoin cycle, I believe, is not going to be more than that minus 20%. And in that case, we are going to be seeing Bitcoin actually trading at that 59K level, which in my opinion is not going to be that bad for my Bitcoin long position. I'm still going to be completely fine. Anyways, yes, I do not think that this correction is going to be very likely, but we just need to have a look into what's this scenario as well, of course, because it could be playing out. And if it were to be happening, well, then still I'm going to be completely fine. Now, what I do think is going to be happening for the longer term, maybe for the short term, we can be seeing a little bit of a consolidation, of course, over here inside of this symmetrical triangle that we might be forming right now. But I just think that we are on the verge of an exponential rally towards the upside for Bitcoin over here. I honestly think that something like this is going to be happening for Bitcoin. I have been saying it for so many times, so please do not get shaken out and do not get fooled right now for the short term. Now, another interesting thing which we can be having a look towards is that we have closed 7 consecutive monthly candles in the green. And this is basically for the second time in history. So inevitably, yes, we are going to be seeing one red month being created. Maybe that's going to be April right now. But yeah, anyways, I'm not going to be too bearish over here because inevitably we are going to be seeing another move just being created towards the upside in the longer term. But anyways, with that being said, make sure to be following me over on Twitter to stay up to date about every single market development. And guys, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.